It's been almost 65 years since this little number of a game show premiered, and when it came back in 72, it was even bigger and better than ever. So get ready to come on down as I talk about one of the longest running game shows in TV history, The Price is Right. Today on the wide world of game shows. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Wide World of Game Shows. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to the Wide World of Game Shows, a new series created by yours truly, the Big D, from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, but I'm also called the Big D. And today, the game show I will be talking about is The Price is Right. Yep. The Price is Right was a game show created by Bob Stewart and produced by Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. Now, for this video, I'll be talking about both the original and the current version we know and love to this day. Anyway, now, The Price is Right focuses on bidding for various prices and whatever, kind of like an auction game. Anyway, the game originally premiered on NBC in 1956. The game was hosted by game show pioneer Bill Cullen, who would later go on to host a number of game shows. And then later on, it would be sent to ABC for a couple more years in 63, and then it ended. It involved 4 contestants bidding on a wide array of merchandise prices, with retail prices ranging from a few dollars. In many cases, bonus prizes were given to the winner afterward to thousands. Though conducted in an auction style, Cullen did not play the role of auctioneer. Instead, contestants would try to bid as close to a product's actual retail price without exceeding that price. And depending on the prize, the contestants were either allowed in proper turn to make multiple bids, or restricted to only one bid. In the case of the former, each contestant would bid on until a buzzer sounded. The contestant could make a final bid or freeze. And the contestant whose bid was closest, but not more than the correct value of the prize, won it. So that's how that actually goes. So that's why I'm telling you only a little bit about that. Well, 7 years later, after the series ended, the show was brought back again and came on CBS in 1972, where it still runs to this day. That's right, it's actually been almost 50 years since The Price is Right came on CBS. Of course, Goodson and Todman teamed with Bob Stewart to create this version, as it originally started out as The New Price is Right. Now then, it revolves around contestants competing by identifying accurate pricing of merchandise to win cash and prizes. Now, of course, contestants are selected from the studio audience when the announcer states the show's famous catchphrase, which is, "You guy, come on down!" Yep. Anyway, this show has been run for so long. The show originally started out in a half-hour format for its first 3 seasons until 1975, when it got extended to a full hour. The show was originally hosted by Bob Barker, who was best known for hosting the stunt game show called Truth or Consequences. Now, although Barker was originally one of the choices for The Joker's Wild, which came on CBS the same year, but they wanted him to do The Price is Right. Anyway, he was the longest running host of the series until he retired in 2007. It was accompanied by a series of announcers, beginning with Johnny Olson, who, of course, announced most of the games that aired on CBS, except for maybe games like Tattletales. He would be the announcer later on in the run. He'd be the announcer until his death in '85, and then later on in '86, Rod Roddy, who was still being the announcer for Press Your Luck, which I'll do then a future episode, took over until his death in 2003, and then LA meteorologist Rich Fields, who recently did announcing for later seasons of Supermarket Sweep, took over. Well, until 2010. Now, Brian Richardson did announcing on some occasions after Roddy's death, as a matter of fact, I do believe, yes. Anyway, in 2011, George Gray became the announcer, which after Barker retired, Drew Carey took over. Anyway, now the gameplay is, well, the first part is the same thing. It consists of 4 distinct competition elements, in which 9 preliminary contestants, or 6, depending on the episode's running time, are eventually narrowed to 2 finalists to compete in the game's final element, the showcase. Now, of course, with one bid at the beginning of each show, 4 contestants are called from the audience, or starting in season 49 because of the you-know-what from holding rooms backstage by the announcer to take spot in the front row behind bidding podiums. Anyway, this was known as contestants row or bidders row. Even so, we still get to hear "Come On Down." Anyway, now they have to bid on a big prize and what have you. Now, of course, they got to come closer to the actual retail price. Now, later on, they would add a perfect bid bonus later on. Because if you hear a bell, that means somebody got the price right on the nose. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, which that was pretty good and what have you. But if by any chance you hear this noise, that's... I kind of laugh at a little bit of this. That means all 4 contestants have overbid the price. Now, we reveal what the lowest price was. Then Bob or Drew later on says, "Erase the bids, please." Now, yeah, you'll find videos of multiple overbids of that. I don't mean to laugh, especially when Bob Barker reacts every time. Yeah, he reacts almost every time. Like on the same time in one episode, it's like, "And you have all overbid again." Oh boy. Anyway, once the contestant wins, well, after the one bid, they join our host on stage to play a pricing game, which was now added to this here series. Now, among some of the games that have been played, and they still get played to this day, include Any Number, Lucky 7, which is unfortunately one of my least favorite games. Let's see. The Clock Game, Bullseye. Not to be confused with the future quiz game from Barry and Ann Wright. Let's see. The Grocery Game. There'd be and there's be lots of others added on, including Three Strikes, Cliffhangers, Hurdles, Trader Bob's, Barker's Bargain Bar, which that name would be changed later on after Drew took over. Double Prices, the Card Game, the Dice Game, Save Crackers, Super Bowl, the Race Game, Temptation, which of course there would be a game by that name, which would be compared to Sale of the Century. There's too many to mention. And of course, a favorite of everyone, including myself, Plinko. Now, they try and play for various big prizes, mostly cars sometimes. That usually involves maybe playing something like the Dice Game or Lucky 7 or Three Strikes. Yeah. Anyway, and after 3 games have been played, first 3 games they'll go into the Showcase Showdown, but that wasn't used until the hour-long run. After 3 games were played in the first run, they will go to the Showcase Showdown. Well, I'll get to that in a little bit. In the Showcase Showdown, all 3 contestants from the first half, and then later on the second half of the show, would spin a big wheel and possibly make it to $1, win 1 spin or 2, and get $1,000. And if they can, and a bonus spin, if they can get onto one of the two green spots on the wheel, they'll give them 5,000. And then if they hit the $1, then it's doubled. But they do change it up a little bit. But anyway, whoever wins will go on to the Showcase Showdown. And once both Showcase Showdowns are done, we go to the Fabulous Showcases, where each contestant is, well, presented with a showcase full of beautiful prizes to bid on, and the contestant who bids closer to the actual retail price of their own showcase without going over will win it. And if it's a double overbid, then ugh, yeah. But anyway, but I prefer when somebody wins. But however, later on, if somebody, well, this is kind of tough and what have you. Now, if anybody could get 200, if they do get a good bid and they get maybe about $250 less, they will get both showcases, as a matter of fact. So anyway, that's how it goes. Anyway, I really think this game is just so amazing. I don't really get to watch it a lot. I mean, I still have some respect for the game, though. But anyway, The Price is Right, still one of the greats. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There was one other thing I forgot to mention. Aside from Bob Barker and Drew Carey, there was also other versions. There was also a primetime version, which was hosted by Dennis James. That started in 1972, the same year its daytime counterpart premiered and lasted until 1980. Then in the mid 80s, Tom Kennedy did it, and Bob Barker did some primetime shows, and Drew Carey does as well on some dates. There would also be a syndicated version that came out in 1994, I do believe. Yeah, but I didn't think it was good and what have you. But the big thing about The Price is Right, of course, is the miles, of course. And of course, we had what they call Barker's Beauties. Yep. Anyway, now there weren't that many, but soon, later on, we would have four popular ones at the time. Well, during this whole run, they were Kathleen Bradley, Holly Hallstrom, Diane Parkinson, and Janice Pennington. Now, Pennington was on there the longest. She was on there from the show's beginning in 72 until 2000. Parkinson started in 75 and went on through to 1993. Then Hallstrom from 77 to 95, and Bradley from 1990 to 2000. But soon, Pennington and Bradley were both dismissed from the program in 2000, allegedly because they had given testimony on Hallstrom's behalf of wrongful termination litigation she pursued against Barker and the show. And well, as for Parkinson, I think, appearing in a certain Playboy, anyways. Which reminds me, there would be former Playmates being models as well. Nikki Ziering and even Heather Kozar. But anyway, there would be many others. Well, since 2018, they include Rachel Reynolds, Amber Lancaster, and Manuela Arbeles. If I mispronounced that correctly, I do apologize. And then soon we had male models as well, which those are Devin Goda and James O'Halloran. But they're just called The Price is Right models. Drew decided not to go with a particular name, which that's fine with me and what have you. But anyway, The Price is Right. It's still one of the greats. Maybe one day in the future, I will possibly do a ranking of my favorite games and least favorite games of the series. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's about it. So anyway, if you are a big fan of The Price is Right, you can tell me what you thought about in the comment section below. If you like the video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, be a part of the Big D Nation. And next time on the Wide World Game Shows, I'm going to talk about another game that's been on CBS for a few years, and that being Let's Make a Deal. I'll be talking about that version as well as the classic version with Monty Hall. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out some of these other recent Wide World Game Shows episodes. In the upper left-hand corner is the one I did on Child's Play, which was hosted by the original Price is Right classic host, Bill Cullen. The upper right-hand corner is the one I did on the Joker's Wild, which Cullen took over for the final 2 seasons. Or if you'd like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the last episode where I talk about another Goodson Tomlin produced game, Card Sharks. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., plus the wide world game shows, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.